I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk to folks from the VTuber community about their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We're joined on today's interview by Ajaxus. Hi, how you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing well today.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
I am Ajaxus. I am a VTuber on Twitch. Kind of just getting started. Went on a sudden hiatus. That a hiatus will end tomorrow, though.
By the time this is up and going, they're going to be back up and going again. What is your model on Twitch?
Which program is it on?
Right,
It is on VTube Studio.
YouTube Studio. Is it one you come up with yourself?
Yep, I got it. I got it. Paid to be rigged, and I personally drew it and all that.
Well, that's something that in itself. I see a lot of people who come on without any type of background who pick up something from somebody else, and I'm not putting anybody down for that because heck, I can't even draw stick figures. I I actually have a law passed against me to try any art. But if folks who are able to do their own thing and put together, it seems like you get to express yourself a little more when you get to put a little more of yourself into it.
Oh, definitely. When you have control over the art that you make and like the model that you use, like even if you're not doing the rigging, you can definitely put like a lot more personality into what you want into it. You can put like I guess soul into it.
No, and it seems like um, it would probably reflect a little bit more of yourself, at least the part of yourself you want to reflect anyway.
Yes. With something that's not just pre-made that you just kind of identify with. It leaves you to your own like imagination and it really you can really bring out yourself in in the form of like appearance more, I guess.
Yeah, and that can at least early on, you can have I can imagine all the bells and whistles in the world in a model, and if it doesn't really represent you or you don't know how to use it, it's kind of a lot of wasted money for a lot of uh, a lot of things. Well, you just got a pile of stuff in the corner that you can't use.
Yeah. So that's why learning like especially as an indie, it's very important to learn at like the keybinds, hotkeys, like anything like that, especially what you want and what you want to put on the model.
Yep, and again, it's very customized. I think when you do it yourself, and it does show. I mean, you don't necessarily, as far as what I've been able to tell, watching a lot of folks here over the last several months, you don't necessarily have to have the most expensive model to be able to express yourself and have an engageable personality on, I call it on the air, but on the internet.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Uh, you don't even have to have toggles technically on your model. You that's why PNG tubers exist.
Hmm.
Really, it all comes down to your self-expression and what you put out there. And when you put yourself out there, you have to express yourself properly.
Right.
So having kind of just a design that represents you along with your personality is really all you need.
Mhm.
If
Well,
you want to go the extra mile, though, it's always an option.
well, absolutely, and and it also kind of gives you if you're just starting out. I'm guessing here since I'm not a VTuber myself.
No, definitely. I'm
Yeah,
just starting out.
yeah, I'm just guessing here, but it also gives you an option. Well, if it's not quite for you, you can change things up if you know how it's made.
Yep, you can add whatever you want and just kind of add it.
Yeah,
If you know rigging, even better.
yeah, absolutely. Now, from what it sounds like to me, and it sounds like you're a bit of an artist. Am I right?
Definitely an artist.
Right.
I've
Now tell me about that because I think I am absolutely useless at art. I used to get F's in art in school, which I think is pretty tough grade. I mean, I did something. I didn't fail to do it. It just wasn't very good. Uh, but I really I admire people who are able to express themselves that way. So if you'd like, you share a little bit of your background in art.
I've been doing art for about maybe like 5, 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So I am rather experienced in art through years of practice.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly really does take practice though, because it doesn't come immediately to people, especially to a young child. Because sometimes I'm impressed by very young children who are able to draw like better than me.
Mm. Well, it sometimes just kind of naturally comes to them, and to me, it just never did. I just never have. I don't know whether it's lack of depth or just complete lack of talent, but I knew early on I wasn't going to be much of an artist. But it fascinates me to see people who are able to express themselves that way, um, and have enough confidence in themselves to show other people. That's a whole different kettle of fish, I imagine.
Um, well, really, I just went into it with an open mind. If you kind of take everything, like any new hobby or anything new that you're trying with an open mind, you'll pretty much learn how to master it eventually.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
can't stay bad at something forever. It always just takes practice to learn how to do it.
So you kind of focused on this then and decided, yeah, I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to learn how to express myself this way.
Definitely. I found art as like something I was really attracted to because I could express so many different things and so many different ideas like that I have in my little head
Hmm.
that I'm sure other people like around, I mean really anyone who's created like something of an OC would probably have that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people who have that have I'm a lot of people have types of ideas and what they would like to present in their head spinning around a little bit, but it also takes a little bit of courage, in my opinion, to actually put it to canvas or paper or whatever your medium is, and then take that and show it to other people. I can imagine doing something and keeping it keeping it in a journal or something at home, but here, what you've done with this, and I imagine other things, is actually present that to. Here's what I've done. What do you think? And that to me takes some courage.
Yes, it definitely does. I've, as for as long as I've been doing art, I haven't really been posting that art up until like a little more recently, where I started like posting things on like mainly Instagram. I don't trust Twitter for the life of me.
Well, I don't blame you
But
there. Yeah,
yeah.
well, artists are dealing with a lot of things with the internet. Uh, Not only do you get the positives, which is a chance to show the world, your potential audience is the world, frankly, but you also get a lot of people trying to rip it off and make it their own, and it's very hard to protect once it's out there. Have you found that to be true?
I haven't had any experiences with it myself. I've seen others fall victim to it though, which is why from kind of the start I started using a watermark
Mm.
that's difficult to erase, usually on a gradient background because it's more difficult for someone that cheap to erase.
It tells you how cheap I am. I don't know what a gradient background is. What is that?
It's basically like a background that just fades from one color to another. Even a very mild fade can prove difficult into fully erasing the concept of a watermark because you'll be able to see that it's one color that's been shaded over it. So
Mm.
if you have something that fades, you can kind of prevent it from being overlaid well, especially if it's a very mild, noticeable fade.
Yeah, yeah, that's better than banks have for their checks. We, as far as security is concerned, that's a pretty smart way to do it, and that would be so heartbreaking to put something that you put a lot of effort in on display and have people comment on it, then find somebody else has ripped it off of you. I don't know if I could deal with that.
It just hurts even more if someone takes it and like they get more recognition for it,
Mhm.
just because of I don't know how those people manage to get more recognition. Sometimes it's confusing to me.
Well, that's something that I've talked with some other VTubers about, and I've kicked around the idea of marketing is something that it sounds terrible, and it sounds like something. Oh, I don't want to mess with marketing and all of this type of thing. Sounds like a bunch of corporate people in a room, and it is sometimes. But marketing, I think, involves also networking and getting in touch with the right people and presenting yourself in a certain way. And there are some VTubers I think that would very much benefit from a marketing class or two. Just show, just to point them in the right direction, if nothing else.
I mean, I know jack about marketing, and I mean, I'm just here, I guess.
Right, right. I mean, you're not a corporate shill, but
Definitely not. I don't believe in that. To me, that's bullshit.
I don't blame you. It is completely. It is bullshit all the way around. But unfortunately, you learn that there's some bullshit that's effective. And if you look to go to the next level, sometimes you've got to position yourself in a certain way. And even some artists, if they're looking to get more commercial, have to do something like that. But if you're still there right now and you're enjoying yourself and you're expressing yourself to a certain point, there's no need to mess with anything like that. Sounds like you're doing pretty good to start with. In fact, you've already got. I noticed I just clicked on your website a little earlier. Let folks know how to get there.
Yeah. There's a few ways. One of them is by clicking my Discord profile, and a link will be there. Another is on my Twitch channel. There's a panel that if you click on it, my page will pop up,
Mm.
and right there is my commission page. You can commission me for a piece of art.
Yeah. And what type of, if I were to say check on that and click on it and commission, what type of art can I commission from you?
I mean, generally, the things that I'm very good at drawing are dragons, people, like not so much furries. Please don't commission me for a furry art. I'm not very good at drawing that kind of thing.
It
Uh,
sounds like you would be so happy to try something like that.
I mean, it'd be very experimental, but yeah, if it would be nice to learn.
you you said that so nicely. You were so politely and saying, please no fairies.
I have nothing against furries. Furries are kind people. I just can't draw furries.
Oh, that's you put it extremely well. But if folks have specialties and things that they like to draw. Uh, do you like the fantasy setting along the dragons and people more than anything else?
Yes, so much. I like it's kind of like a mix of fantasy and modern
Mm.
that I kind of like to base my stuff on. So like aesthetics and styles I love to draw alongside like elven people, angels and things like that.
It sounds kind of like a mix between modern technology and uh, kind of well, what
And
you've just
like
described. You kind of combine a futuristic type of thing. Can you do that?
uh yeah, so long as I'm given the like references and like you tell me what you want specifically, I can pretty much do like quite a lot.
I imagine that could drive you crazy too a little bit when somebody says, "Could you draw me a picture of a dragon doing something?" Give you give
Surprisingly, I haven't gotten that.
no, really, you haven't.
Not,
I'm surprised. I'm really am.
I
Given
mean, I'm not commissioned too often, so like I don't usually get like free requests. But I mean, if I were to get like a request without payment, I I don't know how I'd react. I'm pretty sure I'd just be a little bit angry.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm talking about a request that doesn't give you any details. uh,
Oh,
could you just draw me a picture of this guy? Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Hey,
just give me more specifics. A guy doesn't help, please.
well, there's a guy and a dragon in a tree. Can you do that for me, please? But you're dealing now with people, or will be dealing with people once more people commission you, and they will. That
Yeah.
sooner or later you're going to get somebody who just doesn't know what they're doing, kind of like me. If I come in there and give you an idea, uh, that has got to grind on you a little bit. I mean,
I mean, I'm pretty tolerant, like I'm pretty patient with people.
yeah.
So usually I'll give instruction first, just like, okay, you're giving me this request, but can you specify a little more what you want? Because I don't know what you want if you don't tell me anything specific. I am
I,
no mind reader.
I wish you all the patience in the world when it comes to that, because sometimes you just can't underestimate people and what they bring to the table. What is this? What you're doing online? Are you doing art when you're on the VTuber community?
No, actually, the majority of the time I'm playing games,
Like
a
what?
variety of games. There's a game that I have been playing. I forgot what was the game last stream, but I've been playing Minecraft, a game called Century that contains dragons.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. What's that all
uh,
about? I haven't heard that one before.
Century is like, well, the movement is like a roller coaster ride, and so there's that. Uh, Second, it's kind of like a shooter. It's hard to describe.
Mm. Is it one where you need other people to play with you?
I mean, you could, but it's a completely online game, so you can find people online. But I just suggest not doing that because if you have friends to play with those friends. Solo queuing is so difficult.
Is it? Do you like collaborations more than being on by yourself?
I do. I like talking to people.
Mm.
Talking to people is fun and nice, and talking alone is difficult.
Yeah. Well, although I have been known to do that every once in a while, and that's when the wife looks at me funnier than she usually does. But the really it's a great opportunity for you to talk with people across the world. Your audience, um, your audience potential is the entire world, and I don't want to scare people by saying that, but it's the truth. And have you been able to interact with people from all over the world?
I'm not sure how far I've been able to reach. I don't really have too much chat interaction because people don't type in my chat for whatever reason. I'm not gonna go off on anyone unless they say something rude. Which anyways, I would just say don't do this thing. This thing is bad. Don't spread this kind of bad behavior.
Mm.
And
Well,
that's really all I'd say.
yeah, yeah, it happens. It happens in every type of media where you're presenting yourself as kind of a host, but it's something you have to get control of right away too. Otherwise, it spreads. And the old Nirvana song, "We're stupid and contagious." That's the line, and it does happen to a lot of people in if you let it go unchecked. But the you like those games? What other types of games do you play online?
I mean, realistically, I do play like Roblox games a lot, but I will say some Roblox games are really good, like scarily good.
Nah, yeah, there's no. If whatever you're playing and you enjoy it, you enjoy it. That's all there is to it. I mean, I get on and I play games that are older than most of the people I'm interviewing. I'm sure. Uh,
I've played some old games before too.
yeah,
Like,
I mean, sometimes they just hit right, and there's nothing you can. It's personal taste. Like in the art world, it's personal taste, and if you can convey that when you're on a YouTube broadcast or a VTube broadcast, I should say, to the people that in your chat, then I think you keep them interested too.
I hope so. I try to be as entertaining as I possibly can. Some of my streams are higher energy, some are lower. Either way, I try to do my best to be entertaining by either giving the lowest reaction possible that is also funny somehow, or something over exaggerated. Both sides of the spectrum are funny in their own right.
Oh yeah, you got to know. You got to know when a pause, a pause at the right time can be just as funny as a good line, and sometimes it's
Yep.
easier to do. That's for sure. Hey, it's already been 20 minutes with you online, and it's gone so fast. I really hope that I can get you on again soon, and we could talk more about what you're doing online with VTubing and your art and how you continue to progress and entertain people not only with what you're doing on the VTuber segment, but with your art as well. I really have all of the respect in the world of people who are able to express themselves and express themselves to other people that way. I just think that's amazing.
Definitely takes talent, well, develop talent to do that.
Yeah, and a lot of patience too, because sometimes you don't always get the response you'd like. But
Definitely not. I
and
have spent hours upon hours drawing.
yeah, and to me it might be even too much. You kind of put your heart on your sleeve and your and in your hands when you're doing it, and if you don't get the response you like, that hurts. I don't care how big you are, how many times you do it. If somebody tells you they don't like it, it still hurts.
Yeah, something will always hurt. We always have to remember that if you like your art, then you like your art. You like how you draw. So that means there's other people that also like how you draw. And people that'll commend your work. Just because one person said something hateful about it doesn't mean the end of the world.
Yep.
It's a
Yeah.
tough lesson to learn.
Yeah, it sounds like you're pretty tough yourself, and also extremely talented. And again, I really do appreciate you coming on with us. For folks who want to get a hold of you online, watch you on your streams. When are you streaming? Do you have a regular schedule?
Usually at Sunday at like 1 p.m. I'll stream,
1 p.m.
but
Which time zone? 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Eastern.
Eastern, and and usually once a week. Do you pop on for a gorilla stream every once in a while?
For a stream, yeah. I'll stream my streams can last anywhere from like 2 hours to 5 hours. Depends on my energy.
Well, yeah, it sounds like to me you got a lot of energy and a lot of talent too, and I really do appreciate you coming on. We'll get you on again very soon, hopefully. And
Definitely.
folks, again, who want to get to your website, how can they do that?
You can either click the link in my Discord bio, or you can click. I have a YouTube channel. It's dead. There's also a link there, and there is a panel on my Twitch page that also leads to it. It literally is labeled commissions. Not hard to miss. I need to scroll a little, but yeah.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.